Okay. Hello, Sally Leher. So I decided to look into two different organizations, and in order to decide which ones would be the best fit for me, I started off by defining my interests. At heart, I'm a martial artist. This is the nature behind what drives me to want to increase my understanding on how I can help people to develop their physical abilities along with their overall health, as well as developing their emotional health and just increasing their unique abilities because not everyone's going to have the same interests. And so wrestling helped me to develop strength by using weight training, and Kung Fu helped me to add flexibility and mobility onto that strength that I developed. And Kung Fu also uses calisthenics along with a lot of stance work, which is a unique way that you can develop your muscular endurance. And I think that you need to combine all of these different things if you want to have a well rounded program that emphasizes longevity as well as overall strength development. And my main focus is definitely just exercise science. That's my number one focus, is just improving my understanding of how I can actually develop the body. But as a secondary goal, I think that martial arts, being able to use that to help people emotionally as well as physically, would be something I find enjoyable to do. And so, having those interests in mind, I looked into the two organizations that I did, and one of those organizations wasn't on the list that was recommended. And so, the first organization that I looked into was the National Strength and Conditioning Association. And they have a lot of pretty good benefits. Some of their benefits are that the website has a lot of different professional seminars, so they talk to you a lot about different concepts that you yourself might not be knowledgeable on yet, and so it's a good way to learn, maybe even meet with them down the road. And so, yeah, I think that the unification of the medical professionals along with the exercise and sports experts help to make the system whole. Yep, I'm just making sure I cover everything here. I don't remember everything. Let's see. So, all right, yeah, this organization. Oh, yeah, they also offer scholarships to students, so that might be something I should look into. They offer scholarships. It didn't mention what type of scholarship, probably for I know for athletic programs. I don't know if it would be useful for right now. I don't think it's for athletic coaching, but maybe if I went for strength and conditioning, I might be able to get a scholarship for that. They have a lot of different ways that they can help people to develop a professional mindset that, like I was saying earlier, the different professionals that you can watch, that seems to be their number one priority, is making sure that the people in their program know what they're doing. I think it's a good one for me to look into. And so I have examples of some of those benefits. And so if you take someone who's a professional athletic trainer working in this program, as well as someone who specializes in strength and conditioning, this could minimize the chance of injury for athletes, because the strength and conditioning coach working with that athletic trainer would put a lot of focus on rehabilitation in both after getting injured and before getting injured in the first place. They would structure the program to make sure that the number one focus is not so much physical exercise. That would be a part of it, but a lot of it would be therapeutic exercises that would help you to develop your supporting muscles and just develop the structure of your joints and your ligaments before they even got into trying to do the super heavy stuff. And then that's just two of them, because now if we move to, say, if you're in a school setting and you take someone who's an athletic coach as well as someone who's a sports psychologist. Yeah, and let's see here. So, yep. So if this were in a school setting and you took those two people, So the sports coach specializes in just the sports side of things. They put a lot of emphasis into the emotional development as well as actually learning the sport and playing it. And so having a sports psychologist working with the athletic coach could help to increase the mental health of the people that are learning in the school setting, because the athletic coach would already be pretty well geared for that, but having a psychologist working with them would amplify that. And so now we move on to how do we actually join this organization. And so I took this off of the website. This is the 3 different memberships. And so we can just look at the prices here. So we have the student membership, which is $70. Then and you have to pay each of these, you have to pay every year. So professional membership, $130 yearly. And then we have CPI membership, and CPI means certified professional with insurance. And so that's a good one because you get it says it right under there. If you look, it says liability insurance, which is a good one to have. It is pretty costly though, but I mean, if you end up getting sued and you're in a situation where you don't have that liability insurance, who knows how much more you're going to end up paying. That $359 might start looking pretty good then. So that's definitely something to look into and think about. And once we get that membership, we have to maintain a certain amount of CEU, certified education units. And so it said you have to maintain 0.6 CEU, and you have to do the recertification process every 3 years. So you have to take different tests. And another benefit that I didn't mention earlier is that they actually have different resources, different material. You can actually buy materials. You can buy study materials, and they're not mandatory for the classes that you're taking. But I think that they're just good tools to have, to at least have that option to buy those. And so there's 2 ways I could go. Actually, not even 2 ways. I could go for both of them because it would be nice to be certified in both fields. The first one's for strength and conditioning, and the other one is for being a certified personal trainer. I looked around on the website and I couldn't figure out if there was a different number of CEUs needed to be a certified personal trainer. I don't think it's different. I think that certified personal trainers are still considered strength and conditioning coaches, and so I think that it's under the same category, even though they're two different things, but they're fairly similar in what they do. And so the second organization is not a short-term goal. It's not something that I'm planning to do anytime soon, because I've got a lot more to do before I can really start making a job out of this. But the American Martial Arts Association is the second program. And what they want to do is promote the educational and healthful aspects of many different martial arts disciplines. And so what this means is that they don't want you to just teach them how to do the moves. They don't want to see you just know how to fight. They want to actually promote the athletic side of it, which is what I want to promote as well. So our goals are pretty similar. And so I'm going to try finding that paper to see what else I need to cover about it. Let's see. All right. I want to make sure I have the most important information. Let's see. Yep. Well, yeah, the goal is pretty straightforward. And the website it has a lot of really good resources just for videos that you can watch of different professionals, pretty similar to what you saw from the first group. So in that regard, they're the same as the NSCA, which I keep on wanting to say NASM because their NASM is a really popular one. I didn't I didn't bring them up because I like the NSCA, but NASM was another one. Okay, so one of the ways that I can benefit from this program is that it could help my teacher, because my teacher is Sifu Manuel Marquez, and he has a really good school, and I definitely think that working with them might help us to get more promotion, because that's what they help with. They actually can promote your school. All you have to do is prove to them that you're legitimate, which is easier said than done, because you don't just sign up and they look at your background and say that's it. They actually come to watch you. And so that's the flip side of it. And so I'm going to show the examples of the benefits. This is what their website looks like. It's set up really nicely. You can see like they have sponsors and supporters, so you don't have to pay to join because they get funded through different people. And so they have a YouTube channel with a bunch of different videos on martial arts, and you see a lot of videos that talk about different topics that would be of importance for a martial arts instructor. And right at the bottom, you can see where they promote joining them. So I'm going to go on to that one here. Oh yeah, that one comes a bit later. I'm jumping the gun a little bit. So these are all of the current people who have been selected and put on the website, and it shows all their information. And getting to see them, I could talk with them maybe and learn from them, and who knows, maybe they'd want to learn from me at some point down the road if I got certified and became one of the people on here. Or my own teacher, he would definitely be on the list before me, because I'm still learning from him. I know a lot, but not a whole lot, is the best way to put it. And so on their website, to obtain membership, this is how you do it. So you have to give your school name, the name of your website, the name of your teacher. And so this is all just so that they can verify that you are promoting a legitimate school. And so they're going to look into your teacher and figure out who his teachers were. And yeah, it says right here what they want you to do. So they tell you right here. Let's see. Oh no, they don't say it here. Let me read through it. Yeah, somewhere on there it said that you could, what they would do, they would have someone who would come to your school to actually observe your class. Oh, here it is here. Yeah, I just didn't look closely enough. Okay. So they will visit your school, and they will call to schedule a dojang tour. And so what that means, the dojang tour, that's what they call their school, is dojang. So they would have someone come and meet with a member of your school. So they would end up meeting with either me or someone else that works with me. And that's how we would get in touch. And it seems like it's easy, but the hardest part is you have to show that you are skilled in you have to show more than just physical ability, like I've said earlier. And so they're going to observe you, and what they're looking for is obviously they are going to judge the consistency of your movements. Like the guy below, they're going to be watching his feet, looking and seeing how he's able to transfer momentum and how well he's able to utilize energy without wasting any. So they're looking for effective exercise movements, but they're also looking for teachers who promote what is more necessary than fighting. And so on here, I just have a few different quotes of what teachers are supposed to really teach, and this sums up what they're really looking for. They need a combination of someone who knows how to teach the art as well as how to teach life skills. And so I can just leave this here for a second in case you're trying to read through them a little bit. So I'll just maybe leave this up for a minute or two so you can read through some of these quotes if you wanted to. The general idea is just promoting the right kind of teachings. Like, in my opinion, any good system, the teacher should be looked at almost like a parental figure, someone that you look to for guidance and advice, not just for fighting or learning how to fight. And so I'll move on to the next part now. And yeah, that was just another picture. But yeah, I put that one here because I wanted to talk about. So I've seen two different approaches that are effective in my own experiences for teaching people integrity. And so the first way, and I have it written a specific way so I can phrase it the best way in case I forget. Let's see. So yeah, he talks about different events that have happened in his life, and he just talks a lot about the choices that we make. And he asks us questions about different moral topics, different emotional things, and then he'll just let us think about them. He just lets us ponder them for ourselves. And so he talks a lot about helping the people around us, focusing on the way that we choose to live. And over the years, you see the importance of his questions and speeches. And that was the first way, is just promoting a person to look inwardly. He promotes inward focus. Self-evaluation. That's the word I was looking for. Self-evaluation. And then there's the direct method, where I had a teacher who broke it into 5 different words and had them written in the school, and he would talk about them every day and emphasize truth, honor, courage, strength, and discipline. And I think that both of those are very effective methods, and that's the kind of stuff that this organization is looking for. They're looking for teachers who their number one priority is making sure that they develop the mentality along with the physicality of the students. And so let's see here. Oh yeah, final thoughts. Yep. So I like the information because I like the fact that the information is always being updated. It's consistently updated. They don't miss on that. They're always trying to have the most current information available no matter what. And they both put a lot of stress on developing the people that it educates. I think that the combination of getting the strength and conditioning knowledge along with the martial arts background, I think that's going to help me. It's going to put me in a unique position to promote how both can be beneficial towards one another. And so the highlights of the NSCA is that it's a really great resource that's respected, and gaining credibility through them will be beneficial since they help you further your knowledge and gain more experience. And for the American Martial Arts Association, I think a big highlight is that it allows you to see other schools and their instructors, which is something that the NSCA, the National, I don't even remember what it stands for. Let me see. I've still got to try and memorize that. National Strength and Conditioning Association. Okay. I just want to make sure I kind of for myself as well as for this, just trying to keep it consistent. Okay, so I think that for the National Sports and Conditioning Association, Strength and Conditioning. Yeah, I'm trying to make sure I remember it for the future for myself. Okay, so because I have it written as an abbreviation, probably not the best idea. Okay, so both of these organizations help you to get to meet with professionals, and you get to see what they do and just have a lot of different talks. I think it's a great opportunity because you get to find out if there are others that you can work with and learn from. And yeah, some of this I'm repeating from earlier, just what you want to do is work with people who know more than you. That way you can walk away with more knowledge yourself. And so both organizations do that. And there are opportunities to listen to and speak with professionals on topics that relate to your field. And because the general public respects the organizations, they will trust you more when they see that you're backed by these groups. Because both of these groups, they both put a lot of emphasis on making sure that the people they teach are legitimate, making sure that they know what they're supposed to know. They both really care about that. And so I think that the final thoughts that I could leave with are that first and foremost, my main priority is over everything, making sure that I find a way to help people to develop their physical strength as well as their longevity. And one of my big things is I know that aging, that your body tends to weaken, it tends to break down. And in martial arts, we see examples of some very elderly individuals who are still able to do the splits, who can still do flips, who can move as if they were young acrobats. And I think there's a lot of untapped potential in that field that needs to be looked into more. And I think a lot of it has to do with they have an approach to combining aerobic training with strength and conditioning. So that's not the best way to put it. The best way is there's aerobic training and they combine that with, what's the other one called, if I can remember? It's resistance training. Yeah, I had a bit of a brain fart there. Okay, so they've done studies that have found that resistance training combined with aerobic training might be more beneficial than just doing one or the other, because aerobic training is considered to be the most effective, but a lot of studies have proven recently that resistance training has a lot of the same benefits, and it has a few that aerobic training doesn't, and vice versa. Aerobic training has some stuff that it helps with. And so I think that the combination of doing both of those is something that they've been doing that in Shaolin martial arts for a fairly long time now. So I think that's a good one to look into. I think that trying to combine Western and Eastern concepts together is the best way to do it. Because taking information from multiple sources helps to make a more well-rounded program. It's like you can't just run all the time. You've got to do some weight training. A lot of the top athletic trainers for Olympics will have weight training programs for runners, which they emphasize plyometrics and strength training that's geared towards, like, they might have maybe 3 days of the week they do heavy weight training for their legs, and then they might have maybe three other days of the week they would emphasize physical movement, because you don't want to make the legs too stiff, because you want them to be able to be bouncy and springy when you're running and doing high jump or things like that. Yeah, definitely I could go on for a while about my own opinion on what I think makes the ultimate athlete. My overall goal isn't trying to develop the ultimate athlete. Overall, I just want to try and figure out the most effective way to help a person to maintain their ability as they age, which might not be the most realistic because it tends to break down no matter what. So maybe a better way of phrasing that would be to hold on to as much of that strength and to minimize the loss. Would probably be the best. Yeah, minimize the loss. And maybe, if possible, find a way to actually prevent it. And in my opinion, if you train as if you're going to war, your body's going to look like a warrior. If you train like you're a civilian, you're going to have the body of a civilian. And that's just kind of my hot take on that. I think that is one of the most challenging things with trying to help people get in shape is that not everyone wants to look a certain way. They don't all want to be super muscular. They don't all want to be able to pick up a refrigerator and carry it on their backs. Some of them just want to be able to live day to day and just do normal activities. And I think that martial arts can help with that because it ranges for different people and different goals. So for people who want to be stronger, they can just add weight training with their martial arts training, but the same benefits for getting stronger would happen either way, because with Tai Chi, that one helps you to maintain your balance and your flexibility, your mobility. And yeah, they have Qigong, and Qigong is one that puts tension on your muscles, and it can help to strengthen up your fascia, and so it can help make that tighter. And then, yeah, that one might have the side effect of, if you do that one a lot, is your muscles will probably be more defined, which some people don't want that. So yeah, there's just the fact that there are so many different concepts within exercise science is a really big thing to talk about. So I guess the final thought I'll leave off with is just that I want to figure out the best way to move forward and promote Western and Eastern philosophy together, not separately. And I think that both of these organizations will help me to do that. And I think that my primary focus is definitely on the National Strength and Conditioning Association. I think that definitely my moving forward, that the best one for me is to look into maybe, okay, the final thought, I just keep going at this point. Okay, so wrapping it up. So NSCA is a good organization, and perhaps looking into NASM might not be the worst idea, since the second goal of mine ended up being more of a martial arts geared thing. So yeah, maybe trying to be certified through both NASM and NSCA would be a good way to go. And so I'll just leave it off with that, and hopefully you have a good rest of your day. And I'll leave it at that. Have a good one.